Hi everyone, I'm Faith and I am one of the judges from the Green Team. So I just want to start off by saying that we thought both teams did a really good job in defending their positions. Everyone had really good arguments to what they thought was the right way to go about this conflict. But our Green Team did come to the consensus that we thought that the negative team had a slightly stronger argument when it came to reasoning why we should not be involved in this war. So they made many valid points, that first being that it was unfair to the American people to get involved in another war right after we had ended one. And that quote right there comes from the background article. So that was something that we strongly related to. We felt as though, we just got done with World War II. We had lost a lot of lives. We weren't fully stable yet as a country as a whole from that last war quite yet, that it was kind of rushed to be entering into another very large conflict. A lot of what was happening was our U.S. soldiers were getting back from one major war, and those who had survived through World War II, some were being sent right back into the Vietnam War, which just did not feel right to us from that standpoint. The negative team goes on to talk about how a woman from the Midwest wrote a letter to the president asking why we need this war, because her son had just fought in World War II and now he was going to fight in Vietnam. And that comes from the article titled President Johnson's Speech on Military Buildup in Vietnam. And this is just one of many, many people feeling this way. They felt almost not appreciated for all the work they did in the first war, being sent straight to a second war. So not only was this war a drain on our military resources and our people, but it was also a large drain on our financial resources as well. In the article, President Johnson's speech barring another term limiting North Vietnam bombing, it states that this war was costing us $2.6 billion to protect our country and was predicted to raise if we didn't make peace with Vietnam. So getting involved in this war that was not something that did not have anything directly affecting us was costing us this much money, as well as how many lives that were lost in this fight as well. So they go on to discuss how the war may not have even been quite legal. So according to the article, A Call to Resist Illegitimate Authority, it says that the war was believed to be unconstitutional and illegal. Congress had not declared a war, and that was required by our Constitution. And then it goes on to say that this war violates international agreements, treaties, principles of law, and violates the Geneva Accords of 1954, which our government pledged to support. Overall, we agree with the negative team that this should not be the United States' job to help other countries fight their battles. This is why other countries build up an army and use their resources to handle their own and defend their own countries, and that it should not solely be up to the United States to jump in whenever somebody needs. We should not be forced to use our people and our resources to take charge in stopping communism. While communism is something we might not believe in, we shouldn't be the ones having to go fight in different countries across the globe just to help limit the spread of it. While it's not something we believe in, we shouldn't be the sole defenders of anti-communism. We lost 500,000 U.S. lives during this war, according to the background article. I believe, along with my team, that we shouldn't have lost any of those lives to begin with, and this war should have been something that we stayed out of. We should have not had to fight in this war, especially if it was not directly impacting us and our people. If this was a war that was closer to home, or if it was a war that was being brought upon our country and being fought on U.S. soil, then absolutely we should be doing everything we can to put an end to it and do what we can to stop it. But it wasn't, and we think that this is something that the United States didn't necessarily need to take part in quite yet in this time. We think that maybe we should have seen how things progressed and then went from there, but at this time we don't think that it was quite necessary for our country to be involved.